two Crafty Sheilas. First of all, I am going to apologise. My husband is outside whippersnippering, so I'm really, really sorry if you hear that background noise. I can't do much about it. This is the time that Loz and I can work together. I'm so sorry. But the other thing I really want to say is welcome to any new subscribers that we might have. I hope you enjoy what we do here. And, of course, welcome back to everyone who's been following us along. We love having you. Loz, how are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm back. I'm good. Welcome to our first Whipper Chat of the year. This is exciting.
Woohoo!
Finally. Yeah,
Good.
so just to catch everyone up, I had a hip replacement back in December. So I'm about seven weeks post that now, doing really well. I had a bit of a hiccup this week, which I don't want to talk about it, but she's going to make me.
Yep.
Everything's going well. Pain is going well. I'm enjoying life. I'm doing my diamond painting. Yeah. So, well, I'll catch you all up with what's been happening with me down the line. So, yeah, we're going to try and get some of these kits done today and get some filming done for you guys because Belle's got so much to show you.
I do. I got a heap more in this week. Oh, I'm in so much trouble. I'm surprised I'm still married, to be honest. I think that might be coming.
I say that to my hubby. I'm like, well, at least I'm not Belle.
Oh no! I had to laugh last.
Yeah. Go.
Well, I was gonna say I had to laugh last night. I was looking stuff up, and it was about a potential Valentine's Day present.
Oh.
But I wasn't telling my husband that. So I was looking stuff up online, and so I moved the screen away when he walked into the room, and he was like, "What are you trying to hide from me?" And I was like, I can't tell him that. But I was like, dude, the only thing that I would have to hide is diamond paintings. And I was like, you can see the pile that I have to unbox. So what have I got to hide? And he just laughed and went, yeah, fair enough.
That's silly. Oh, goodness. Oh, I've only got like minute compared to you. Like I told you over the break, I went through my stash, and I remember messaging you and saying, "Oh my God, I've got 70 in my stash," and you're like, "Shut up, you."
Yeah. I've got about double that for some.
Yeah,
it's
maybe triple. It's spending very quickly on your side.
It is.
So if you guys, I reckon Belle needs to do a stash haul. We need to see what's in her stash so we can say, you don't need that. Let's do a big D stash. That would be great. If you guys support me, please.
No, please don't. I will say that my stash, because the room, like the house that we're in, it's not our forever home. And so we're only in a 3-bedroom place. So of course my son's got one room. The spare room, I can't take over because we do have family that come and visit sometimes.
Oh, so check them out in the lounge room.
The problem I've got is like I've taken over the cupboard, and that is my diamond painting storage area. Like I've got painting stacked on painting, and I have to like hold it whenever I open the door. So please don't make me do a stash video.
I just want to see that. Just a shot of you opening the door. That would be incredible.
No, please don't make me do that.
Hey, if I come to visit, it's on.
If you come to visit, I will begrudgingly show you. It doesn't mean that I'm going to show the world.
I'll have a hidden camera on me, guys, so we will catch the moment.
Oh, no. But yeah, no. You got to laugh. You got to laugh. Look,
exactly.
These are all paintings.
So I have a bit of a story to tell you. You know, today we're going to film some extra videos, and excuse me, I just got all my kits out that I did last year. Mm-hmm. And it's going through my box, and I'm like, something's not right. This doesn't smell good. I'm like, oh no, something's happened. And I get through to one of my kits, and my delightful elderly demented cat has peed on it.
No.
All over. And it was on the bag. So, because I wrap them in the bag, and I'm like, yep, this should be okay. Should be right. It's on the bag. Nope.
Yeah.
Pull it out and it's soaked all through the canvas.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh no. Luckily, it's a kit that I didn't really love. So it was Love Potion by Miss Holly.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So that's one I did in 2023. But still, I'm like, that one took me a while because I didn't like it. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm going to have to go through that box and change how I store my kits now. Use done paintings.
Yeah, that sucks. Is that the one that has a dog in it?
Yeah, it's got the corgi and she's standing over the potion.
Yeah. Is that why your cat peed on it? Because there's a dog in it?
No, I just think she thought that box was a litter box.
box. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, having dementia, she doesn't know where she is anymore. So,
no.
Like, at least it wasn't on anything else. But I'm like, I'm gonna have to go through and check everything. So that's quite a few paintings in there.
No.
She's vacating the room because I'm talking about her. Wasn't me.
I wouldn't be surprised if you put Crazy Cat Lady where that box was.
It'll keep her away.
I was thinking more you'd be hoping she does it on that one.
Well, it's out here for the world to see it. Like, why can't they go and chew that one and pee on that one?
Because it's out for the world to see. They're sneaky. You know this.
I think I've actually thrown it out. Or maybe it's in the cupboard.
No, you did not throw it out.
I'm gonna. I just despise it.
I thought you were giving it to your sister.
No. I've been using the drills in other projects, so in other things.
My goodness, Loz.
I know. I've got a bit cuckoo. I've gone a bit crazy over the last 2 months. Haven't been able to do much. No, but I've got it in my head. I'm going to, once it comes back in stock with Dreamer Designs, I'm going to buy it there because I just want a whole new experience. You know how much I love that kit, and it's everything to me. And it's that rendering has just ruined it in my head. It may not look it to other people, but to me, this kit was meant to be everything. And if I want it on the wall, I kind of want it to be perfect. So
that's fair.
So that's fair. Sort of my reasoning behind it. And I've got a whole stack of spare diamonds now.
It's a very expensive way to have a spare stack of diamonds, I will say.
Plus 20-something bags of 310, so I'm good.
Oh my gosh. Don't talk to me about 310, please. Still, oh man.
It's like Encanto, the movie Encanto.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno. It's like we don't talk about Black 310.
That's right. Do not
tell us about the fun you're having with your mystery.
Oh my gosh, I do not like color blocking. I do not like it. Okay, so I have started this year. Loz and I have decided we're going to do a mystery kit together. We've got 2 different mystery kits, but it's about the process of mystery kit together. So I've got the Anne Stokes one. Now, I knew there was a fair chance that it was going to be color blocking. Anne Stokes is either very busy or very profile. So I knew it was a risk. I'm not claiming anything different. But I've got the 2 Randall Spangler mystery kits, and I wanted to trial a mystery kit before I worked on the Spangler one, like just in case I really hated it. I wanted to get a good process going and learn. So I thought I'll risk it with Anne Stokes. I am regretting my decision greatly. I can't even remember. What was it, like 12 or 13 bags of 310? There was like 6 or 7 bags of like 939, like ridiculous amount of bags of dark colors. And Loz finds it absolutely hilarious that I do spin the wheel because especially for color blocking, I really struggle with it. I find it very boring and monotonous. I know other people love it because you can get through it quickly. I just find it boring.
Yeah.
So I do spin the wheel, and the first one that I got had all of about 40 drills in it that was not 310. I was like, well, this is not off to a good start. So Loz found that funny.
Yep,
I got
still do.
through. I at least got the next one was a little bit of confetti. So I was quite happy with that. And then a lot of the others were fair bits of color blocking, but at least like 3 or 4 different colors. So they weren't as bad. Anyway, I got up to section 9 and I sent Loz a message. I was so excited. I got the absolute middle of the picture. It was so much confetti. I was in heaven. And Loz was like, oh, I can't stand looking at this. But I was like, I'm so happy. I finally have this beautiful section of the image and I'm in my zone. And I felt it in my bones and went, the next one's going to be pure color blocking. And it was coming up a little bit later at night. And I was like, I wasn't quite ready to stop diamond painting, but I didn't need another big confetti section. So I thought, yeah, I feel it in my bones. I'm going to risk it. I did a spin the wheel. I sent the picture to Loz. I went from insane color, like confetti, to this big piece that I had, which I think is like a 14 by 10 centimeter piece. And I counted, there was 26 non-310s, and those 26 were all of the same color. I almost cried.
I know the picture. So once Belle told me that she had this Anne Stokes one, so I actually went out and had a look to see what it is. And I did warn her that I don't think it's going to be something she'll enjoy. I remember it. And I've actually still got it saved on my picture on my phone.
Do you?
So yeah. So I can sort of see what it's looked like. And I know what you're getting with the confetti. It's incredible. But you're in for a world of pain.
Yeah, I've definitely got that. But I was at least able to say once I did that horrible section, I'm now at least, I'm 20% done. I've done 10 out of my 50 sections. So I will say that did then break me, and I have put it aside for a little bit because I'm now going to start working on other things. So we haven't even talked about what we're working on today. So I have decided I am going to start, or I am working on a Valentine's Day kit. Today is the 1st of February for us. So I'm going to do it. So I've got this adorable little image.
Oh, I love that.
It's so cute. So it's Valentine Spaniel by Maryline Cazenave from Diamond Art Club. And look, it's a really small image. It's a 41 by 41. Again, I've got so much color blocking around the edges, but we're not talking about that. I'm working around to
isn't
finish
it a partial?
in the center. No, it's not.
They were partials.
Some are. This one is not. So I've gone from color blocking to color blocking, but that's fine. That's fine. So like I'll just turn it around. So like I started, and like you can see, I've got a little bit less color blocking down here, but then color blocking, gross. And not too bad up here. And then I'm turning it around the side. And I'm working on a large, big color blocking section, but I will get a little bit of pretty here, and then I'm going to come into the middle where I can finish with confetti.
Yeah. No, when you're happy in your
happy exactly. So I'm going to do that, and then one of the videos that we're going to unbox today, which I'll probably upload for Wednesday when we usually do our unboxing video, is an Emma Casey, because I'm going to take part in the Emma Casey event, which is being hosted by Sparkling Diamonds with Brittany and Robin. I'll put a link to their channel down below. So that's very exciting. And the other event that I'm going to partake in, just because it's been such a nightmare, is there is a minis event. Now, who is hosting that? I think it's the Crafty Diamond, and I want to say Kimba's Crafts. I'm really sorry if I've got that wrong, but I will link the Facebook page down below and their YouTube channels so that if you want to have a look, you can. It did used to be that you could only do a paint jam, but now that there are so many companies that offer mini kits, they have opened it up and said it is any mini kit you can do.
Nice.
Yeah. And theirs is like really, really easy. So it's great if you're wanting to do these bigger images and you just want to have something simple in, because I don't quote me, but I'm fairly sure that their requirements are you just have to do 3 mini canvases, so not even a full kit.
So cool. That's all right.
It's a really, really simple requirement. So I'm really keen to do that just so that I can partake in the fun of an event without too much pressure.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
That's a good idea. I've just received all my ones from my first lot of paint gems, so I might have an unboxing for you then soon. So
yes,
I'm
and then you can partake as well.
I can, exactly. So me, well, what else have you still have you got a pen to match your canvas?
Oh, kind of. I got this one.
That's pretty.
So yeah, I thought it's a pinky red. I know there's a bit of black in it, but there's a pinky red. So I thought, yeah, that kind of works for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can't even remember where I got this one from. I will link it in the description below. I can't remember. I'm using my Fantasy Sparkills tray just because there was pink on the bottom.
Oh.
You know, trying to keep the theme going. And the putty that I've got is the red velvet cupcake. So I thought, like, that's a little bit romantic too. So that's from the Creativity Squirrel. So I tried to have a bit of a theme. Oh, and of course my little love heart cover minder. So that's my thing.
So cute. Yep. Well,
what
my
have you
accessories are sort of the same. You know, I still use the same pens, but I am venturing out to use the diamond Dreamer Designs plastic tip for my
for your ABs.
ABs, and I'm enjoying it. I have to say,
it's not bad.
I do like it, except I don't like the single placing.
Yeah, I get that.
That's the only problem I have with it. But yeah, still using them. Still got, you can see my Elizabeth Ward trays. I do have my Fantasy Sparkle trays as well, which I love. It just always gets used. It never changes. I am still working on let me move everything here. Dark Treasure. So is it
look at it.
I love it. He's just incredible. He's absolutely amazing. And through the crown and all around the side here is like a mixture of crystals, fairy dust, and AAs. So
I love it.
Just incredible. So I'm getting to the point where below where he's after the cat is a big skull and stuff. So I'm not really into skulls, and I'm thinking of gifting this to my sister. So if you're listening, you don't know anything. but this one's
either that or
ages.
You need to diamond paint a lot faster so that you can give it to her before she sees the video, okay?
Yeah. But can you see the confetti in this? It is just ridiculous, and it's driving me
awesome.
insane.
I love it.
It just takes so long. Like, this kit has taken me almost a month, and I just can't deal. Plus, I'm working on 2 squares at the same time, which I'm like, give me a whole heap of rounds for the next 6 months, I think. But yeah, no, I'm loving this one. It's such a cutie. Cute. But there is some issues I'm finding with the canvas and the diamonds, but I'll get into that when we do a review or a whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So I want to tell you about my week.
Please do. I've been hanging out for this.
So, our kidlets have gone back to school this week.
Oh, I know.
And Belle will tell you all about her beautiful little one. So my kidlets have gone into grade 1 and grade 5 this year, and I was getting the house ready. Everyone was all excited. This is on Monday. So we had a public holiday on Monday because it was Australia Day on Sunday. And so I was so productive. I did amazing. I cleaned out all my diamond painting stuff. I've moved it into the office. I've cleaned out my office. That was on Sunday. Monday, I'm like, yep, I'm going to set up this cool station to put all the kids' bags, shoes, everything all in one place. Yeah, so cool. The house was a bit of a mess. You know, you got to make a mess before it's tidied and proper.
Yeah, it gets worse before it gets better. Yep.
Exactly. So we got our own little wire basket each to put on there. And so I had mine. My daughter had filled up her basket. My son had his. So I went and got my wallet and keys and stuff to go put it into my basket.
Yep.
And as I was doing that, I was walking over to it, there was a display folder on the floor.
Yeah.
I stood on it and
No.
fell on my backside.
Oh.
So, of course, having just had a hip replacement, I instantly went into panic mode. I was in absolute agony. It was so painful. I'm like, you need to ring the ambulance. I was like crying because I'm thinking, oh my God, I've just fractured it. I've done amazing things. I recovered so well. I was doing incredible. And then right at this last second, day before school goes back, to be quite honest, I'd done this and it was so painful. Got the ambulance came. And I had some painkillers in the house. So they told me to take these strong ones. So like Endone and Palexia and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, so while we waited and I'm still on the floor and they get there and they're like, come on, okay, we need to get you up. And I'm like, I was struggling to even move my leg at that point. And
did you get the green whistle?
I got the So he's like, the paramedics, he's like, for starters, you need to take 5 breaths of that before we even move you. I'm like, oh my God, I know, I've had the green whistle before. I know what it's going to do to me. And then before I knew it, I was being pulled up in the air. I'm like, there's birdies. I was like high as a kite. And then they chuck me onto the gurney, and then my husband's like, this is hilarious. He's like, you were just totally off with the fairies and you're about to pass out. He's like, it was great.
Did he record it?
No. No, thank God. And
me and I are going to have words.
He would be game too. So it was so painful. I'm like, thank goodness for that. So then I had the bumpy ride into town because we live half an hour out away from the hospital. And then we get into the hospital, and thankfully, like being a public holiday, it was so busy. But they got me through, got the x-rays. Everything came back clear. But I was still in so much pain. So I stayed the night, and they kept pumping me full of fentanyl and more endone and all sorts. And then, but it comes back that I've torn the hip flexor muscle. Not badly because I'm able to walk and do things, but right into where it connects into the groin, I have a tear, and if it doesn't improve, I have to go back and get scans again, but it's going to set me back probably a month. No. I'm like, no. I've been doing so well.
I didn't realize it was going to take you that long.
Yeah, but it's okay. Like I'm managing. I've gone back to sort of having issues getting in and out of bed. Whereas before I was just swing the legs around. I was good, but another thing that happened. Yeah. I because I was still in my pajamas when I got taken into hospital, and you don't always wear a bra under your pajamas. Yeah. Wasn't able to put a bra on, and so my husband didn't come in on the Monday because we had young kids, and I'm like, I'm fine, I'm safe here, don't worry about it. So I asked him, I said, he's like, what do you want me to bring in? I said, all I want is a bra. Please just bring me a bra because I don't like it. I said, I can stay in my pajamas, don't care. Just get me a bra. Yeah. So he comes in, he's like, brings in this massive bag full of so many shirts and heaps of pants and heaps of undies.
Oh, no.
And he's like, pulls out the bra, and it's my daughter's.
The pain relief wouldn't have been helping. You would have been. No.
It was great. And then, because they were taking so long to discharge me because the orthopedic team were busy and couldn't get back to the other doctors, they said to me, because he was going to be another hour. They're like, can you just go sit out in the transit lounge? It's a really nice little lounge. They've got really comfy chairs. We'll give you a nice warm blanket. I'm like, yeah, that's no worries. That's fine. They called the transit lounge the main emergency room waiting room.
No!
So here I am walking out in my pajamas, no bra on. Look, I haven't had a shower for 2 days. And I'm like, this is so embarrassing. But luckily I had a pillow so I could hold it against. I was shuffling out with it against my chest. But I'm like, oh my God.
That's terrible.
like,
You poor thing. How traumatizing.
It kind of was, actually.
Oh,
So maybe,
wow.
luckily I was still a bit high, you know, so I took it on the chin, but I'm thinking, oh
Jesus.
dear.
Oh, you poor thing. I didn't realize that part. You didn't tell me that.
I left that. I wanted your reaction to that.
So I bet you were cursing your husband by the end of it.
I'm
I had to
loving
do the walk of shame.
I know, and I told him that because he was on his way, and I'm like, they made me walk out. And he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's your fault. You have to buy me a diamond painting now.
I've got to catch up to Belle.
Somehow. Oh, so good. But yeah.
No.
So tell me about your week with your little one.
Oh my goodness. He's a prat. He's a primary school kid. Oh no. Look, we spend a lot of time with him. Like, I mean, I know all kids struggle with change. That's a normal part of the process. But the way that my husband and I live, we sort of have quite a good routine. So my son really thrives on routine and really doesn't cope with change. So we spend a lot of time in the build-up talking about what changes and what to expect and all those things. I am so sorry if you can hear my dog barking at my husband's slippery. I'm so sorry. One of those days. He's trying to get all the whippersnippery and mowing done before it starts raining because it's quite overcast here. So I apologize. But yes, so he started at school and we had gone through a lot and we had this drama. I think I mentioned at the end of last year that because he was kindy vacation care had been cancelled. They couldn't find a carer. So it meant my husband and I were having to take a ridiculous amount of time off work between the both of us to cover his school holidays. Because this year he officially became prep, they allowed him to go to vacation care when they opened that back up. But they didn't open it until the 13th of January. So, so he had 2 weeks of vacation care and the rest of the time we'd had to cover. But it was really good. Like it was a really good chance for him to go see some of his little kindy friends again. And the added bonus was the lead room carer for vacation care is actually one of his teacher aides this year. So
oh wow, yeah,
perfect. It meant he at least knew someone going in. Sorry for the cut there, guys. We had family interruptions. Don't mind us. Okay, so we had So I have to tell you that first day of vacation care was insane. Like my son has always sort of been like in a class size. Like when he went to daycare, it was a little bit busy when they were outside, but of course they could spread out. And then, they'd go into like a class size. And then he did kindy in a class. So he's not really been exposed to lots of people and he really doesn't cope with loud noises. So we walked into the first day of vacation care and I found out there were 85 children.
Goodness. Huge.
Insane. And because I only do school hours, it meant I dropped him off a little bit later. So I think there was over 70 of them there when we arrived.
There. Yeah.
It was so loud. Like I walked in going, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this, let alone my son who didn't know anyone or know the group or know anything. So I felt awful dropping him off that day, but the lead room carer, she was so good. She came over and she spent a bit of time with him and we managed to find one of his kindy mates who was standing away from the other kids. So I was like, go play with him. And then my son was fine. But I had a bit of a giggle when I was talking to the room carer. I said to her when I was dropping him off, I was like, he's going to take a little bit to come out of his shell. And I was like, you'll know you're in because he'll talk a lot. And I said, just do what you can. But he is okay. He'll just spend a lot of time sitting back and watching and assessing the situation. And that's okay. So she was really good. And when I picked him up, she's like, oh, he was so quiet. He's lovely. He's such a beautiful child. And he's a pleasure to look after. I was like, oh, well, where's this child at home? Because that's not what I say. And like every day that week, she kept saying the same thing. Oh, he was just so quiet. And I'm like, this is not the kid I'm used to. Like, what are you talking about? On the Friday of the first week, they actually did a day trip down to the beach. So they took 2 buses worth of kids, and because it was Friday, not everyone goes to vacation care. So it ended up being the preps and grade 1s went in one bus, and then the grade 2s to 6s went in the other bus. And when they were coming back, she actually said to me when I picked him up, because I got there about 20 minutes after they got back, but I went to pick him up and she came straight over to me. She was like beeline. And she said, oh, he was really good today. She said, he was so good. She said, all bar about 4 kids fell asleep on that prep grade 1 bus. She's like, it was a huge day. Pretty well everyone fell asleep. She's like, your son was one of the ones who didn't fall asleep. And she said, wow, he has a lot of questions and statements, doesn't he? I was like, oh, you're finally in.
You're in.
So that was really, really good.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, well, at least he's comfortable with her. And like we found out about, the prep thing. Like one of the frustrating things is we had a prep information night, but we had it on the Tuesday just gone. He started kindy on the Tuesday and we had the information night that night. So I'm like, great, we've taken him to school. We have no idea if we've done the right thing because the information night's after they start. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
So I think they sort of just gave everyone a whole heap of freedom on the first day because no one knew what was going on. But yeah, I dropped him off. I made my husband come, and it actually worked out really well. It was my RDO. So
nice.
I didn't have to take time off work. It was already pre-planned. It was perfect. And made my husband drive because I said, I don't think I'm going to be capable of driving when this is done. And he was like, you're going to be fine. What are you whinged about? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. Like, I know what I was like after the kiddie drop off. This is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
I held it together. I did really, really well until we got back to the car, and then I completely lost my absolute, Yeah. I was trying so hard.
Yeah, and that's why I said to you, like, try not and cry in front of him because that'll make it worse. But going through this last year, it's such a weird feeling, like they're like, oh my goodness, like I've got 2, so I've done it twice, but
you've done it already,
exactly, but it still felt horrible leaving my boy, and it's like, well, he's growing up. He's on to the next stage of his life, and like he's not a baby anymore. And I'm like, I should be happy and excited because I get my independence. I get to work a bit more. I can do what I want. But you're like, oh my God, where are they? Why aren't they beside me?
Yeah. I was talking to Brittany and Robin that I mentioned earlier. I was talking to them about it because like with the time zone difference, they like. When I was up diamond painting and I knew you'd gone to bed, I was starting to get anxious and worked up about it on the Monday night. And I happened to be chatting with them. And so I was sort of venting a little bit. And I was saying to me, and I don't mean this to sound morbid, but it's the beginning of the end. This is the first step where they are truly becoming independent from us.
Yes.
It's the beginning of the end.
Learning. It's the beginning of the end. I completely agree. It's such a strange feeling.
Yeah. And there's always that part of you that I'm so proud of him, and I am so happy that he is becoming independent and growing up in the world, and that I get to watch it and help to nurture it. However, he is my baby, and knowing that this is that day closer, that step closer to him not always wanting to come and cuddle me and want to talk to me and want to be with me.
Yeah.
It's incredibly heartbreaking.
And you work so hard to get that bond, and you have that bond with them, like, and to let them go into someone else's hands, it's hard.
Yeah. It's really, really hard.
And then you worry. I'm like, oh, they're going to make friends, and are they going to fit in? Are they going to get bullied? And
exactly.
Are they the one doing the bullying?
Exactly. Oh, that freaks me out so much. So I'm going to tell you about the first day. So we dropped him off. We helped him settle in. It was so lovely. They took family photos. I think I sent you the family photos.
It was lovely.
It was nice. Like, it's not the nicest photo of me. My husband's looking somewhere else.
Beautiful.
But it was nice to have that photo. And I love the fact that my son naturally, like he was the first one to touch, and so he actually had his hand on my husband and my leg. And that was why I held his hand. Like, I think because he was sort of getting that apprehension kicking in, and my heart just sort of saw that he wanted to still have that contact and feel like he was okay.
Yeah. He's
we had
reassuring you, saying, "It's okay, Mum."
Yeah, and as much as I could then reassure him as well, you are okay. So no, it was really nice, and so we put all his stuff away, and it was so good. We got there early, so we were actually the third kid to do drop off, and I think that was the best thing we could have done. Was it gave him a chance to not be completely overwhelmed.
Exactly. Yeah.
The only downside was that the two other kids that were there were girls he has never seen before. They're new to the school, so I was like, bugger.
Well, that's a good in a way, though. Being new to the school.
Yeah. So we worked around that, but it was good. Like one of the teacher aides was his room carer from vacation care. So she sort of, gave him a big hug and sort of tried to welcome him into the room, which helped. They also have a student teacher aide, and this girl was actually the student teacher aide in his kindy class. So she knew her as well. So I was like, we're down with the teacher aide. And he had met the teacher a couple of times. So I was like, no, we should be fine. And he was really apprehensive about walking away from us. So we had a few extra big cuddles and a bit of reassurance. But once he sort of got down and he's got his toy out, he was fine. So there was no tears. There was no bear hugs of never letting go or anything like that. It was just a little bit of a slower start, which I was really thankful for, but then of course that made me roll my eyes when we left, because I was like, you really didn't feed me.
Yeah.
Whereas if he'd bear hugged, I would have been bawling my eyes out because I didn't want to let you go. It was never going to be a good situation.
Yeah. And you'll probably find that, I know I was like that, and my boy was fine as soon as the teacher would take his hand and says, come on, Mum will be back later. Bye, Mum. And they walk off. Yeah. So the quicker the drop off, I know it sounds horrendous, the better it is.
It is. It's a lot less painful.
It's a lot less painful for both of us.
Yeah.
Child and mum, but
and that was what I'd learned at daycare. It was exactly the same.
Yeah.
No, it's awful. And then when I picked him up, he was really excited. So I've started to try and get him into the habit of, tell me about your day, tell me what you did, all of those things. So he's getting better with that. And he's really starting to open up and he's enjoying it. But what I found absolutely hilarious was on the Wednesday, so day 2, we took him, and it meant that his teacher aide from vacation care, she only works Monday, Tuesday. The other one works Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we had a new teacher aide. So we had to go through the process again.
Yeah.
And look, I think she's been around kids for a long time. So she obviously knew the techniques to try and help the kids with separation anxiety and stuff like that. And she had no idea which kids needed it and which kids didn't. So I love the fact that she tried. So like we walked into the classroom and she was there at the door. And so she sort of got down at his level and was like, oh, what's your name? And he told her. And she said, oh, well, I'm Mrs. W. And she said, oh, and it's my first day. I don't know any of your 21 kids. You're going to have to try and teach me. Can you show me some of your friends? And, trying to engage, which was really nice. And I was flipping his name tag on. And he sort of looked at her like, why? And he didn't say anything, but he just looked at her. And the next thing I know, he just walks off. And I was like, buddy, do I even get a hug? I got nothing. And he comes running back. Yeah, he comes running back. He hugs my leg and off he goes again. But this teacher is like walking after him going, can I play a game with you? Can you teach me like some of your friends? Can you show me? And I'm just like, sweetheart, just find another child. Like, my kid's good. She just sort of looked like this little puppy dog trying to make sure he's okay. And I'm like, he's fine. Move on.
Because I missed the first day drop off. My hubby had to do it. So he was like, my boy, last year, like, he was a clingy mess. It took him probably at least two or three terms, I'd say, to be fully ready for us to leave him and go. So so hubby did it. I'm like, oh, how was he? And he's like, yeah, he was good. He ran straight over, sat in line and was good to go. So then I find out from the other bums that hubby asked my son for a fist pump as they were walking away. And he didn't do it. He just looked at him weird and he's like, no, I'm not doing that, and just walked off. So the teacher, this new teacher, came up to my husband and he's like, I've got your dad. Fist pumped him and went, woo, did all these hand gestures. And my boy's like, oh my God, what a teacher have I got? I'm like, that's awesome.
That's cool.
I sent him a message and I'm like, I heard you got left hanging. You didn't get a fist pump. He doesn't tell me this stuff. And I'm like, I've got ways. I know.
That's right. We have our sources.
Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome.
Oh, goodness. Well, I know you were talking about rain and your hubby's out mowing the lawn, getting it all ready. I'm a bit further north to Bell, and we have been copping rain for the last 3 days. I think today alone they're expecting about 200 mils of rain.
Whoa!
Today.
Okay, decent
We are
rainfall.
copping it. It's further north. They've had well over 1 meter of rain, so they've had way more than us.
They've been talking about potential cyclone, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's a rain depression, so it's very close. We've had some intense bits of wind come in, and the rain just picked up again now. But I love this time of year, but then I hate it when it rains 3 to 4 days straight like this. You know, it gets a little.
The kids go crazy.
I'm like, that's it. But then it's like we live in the tropics.
Yep.
This is the wet season. The
That's right.
No point complaining.
No, that's right. It happens every single year.
Exactly.
We should know better by now.
It's just a bit delayed. We're about a month late. So
that's what I said. I was like, I feel like this is a really late start to the season. And the fact that we haven't had a cyclone yet this season.
No.
Very weird.
We only had one last season, so
true.
And that hit up in Cairns. So
that's true.
This one, there's 2 or 3 lows that are just sitting there waiting to go. So
this could be interesting.
Yeah.
I have to say, we had a storm. I think it was just over a week ago. I think it was Friday a week ago. And it was a crazy storm. It was one that I don't know whether you ended up getting it or whether it started to dissipate a little bit, but it was coming from the southwest. And usually with the western storms, that does actually hit our house. We've got a fair few hills around us. So normally we only get hit if it's north or northeast.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And the west, we often will get the west. But anything that comes from the south, we're pretty shielded here. We get virtually nothing. But town is south for us. So I sort of know if it hits town, it's not getting us. But they had these weather warnings out, and they were saying 100-kilometer-hour winds. We're talking cyclonic winds here. Yeah. It was absolutely ridiculous. And my husband and I are like, it's coming from the southwest. We'll get a bit of rain out of it. We're not going to get much. Oh my gosh, 9:00 that night, it hit, and it seemed to sort of, I don't know what happened. It seemed to swing, and it ended up coming around from the west and the northwest. So
goodness,
we were smashed, absolutely smashed. So 8:30, 9:00 at night, my husband and I are out there, and we'd been watching it, and the wind just picked up. It wasn't a gradual increase. It was there was nothing, and 5 minutes later, ridiculous gusts, insane.
Unreal.
And so we'd bought this trampoline for my son for Christmas. We put it in up against the hill. That's where it always sits. So we have never had a problem with it. In all the storms we've had since we bought it for him, we've never even thought it was going to be a problem. And that storm, my husband and I were both like, we got to take the tramp down. This is insane. So we're out there absolutely saturated in the rain. I'm watching the lightning coming in and these wind gusts. So I'm trying, because we had a tent canopy around the side walls to try and prevent too much sun exposure.
Yeah.
And we had the roof, the canopy roof as well. We had to take both of them down because it was lifting the trampoline, and the trampoline had been tied down.
Oh,
that's how insane this wind was. So my husband is standing on the side of the trampoline, and I'm the bits that he'd managed to unclip, I'm trying to hold it down so that the wind can't whip up into it and pull it out of his grip. But of course he's wet, and we're trying to unclip this thing. It was the worst thing. It took us like half an hour to get this thing down. And even as we're taking it down, like we're both trying not to get like whipped up with this wind. It was, oh my gosh. I literally
incredible.
thank goodness the weather was crazy because we ended up taking our clothes off outside because we were wringing them out, trying not to take too much water in the house. So I apologize to any of my neighbors that might have happened to have been looking out the window at that stage, but it was ridiculous. Like, oh my gosh, that's the craziest storm we've had since we've been in this house.
Yeah, we get ours
crazy.
from the southwest, so I always know if they're coming. We've had a doozy come from the north.
Yeah,
Goodness, or the northwest, and that usually it's a different when it hits the other side of the house. We sit facing south, and it's like holy when you know it's coming from there. But we've had some doozies, but they've been hitting us through the night, like at about 1 o'clock in the morning. So they might have been something from you had, and it sort of eventually gets up to us about then. But I tell you, like I think we've talked about this before. These lightning, it's fully electric storms have been just ridiculous this year. It's we're not used to this sort of stuff. So
no, there's definitely changes in the world, I think.
It's very different. Oh, my son and hubby went out for a walk in the rain this morning. Absolutely pouring rain. Let's go for a walk. I'm like, I bet all the neighbors. I'm like, we'll stand out the front and strip off so you don't bring that. No, too many cameras around. I'm like, I don't care. You're the silly ones that go outside.
Oh, I didn't even think about the cameras. I hope the neighbors didn't have any cameras on out the back.
That'd be like putting it in slow motion.
All right. Well, I probably don't have much more. I could talk about my Brisbane trip, but all I was going to say for my Brisbane trip is Bluey World was very expensive. It was good, but very expensive for what you had. And look, it was a good experience. Okay.
We're going to movie. We're going to go down there in June, actually.
To Movie World, yeah.
Yeah, but we got a deal for. Oh, what's going on? Are you still recording? Oh, may as well just talk about it.
Yeah.
If you want to.
So I was like, I'll just finish it off in there.
Yeah, go for it.
So we went to Bluey World, and when we got down there, we ended up staying on the riverfront. Like, I was amazed.
Nice.
We were actually on the riverfront. And they've got, I don't know if anyone knows, but like in Brisbane, I think we mentioned it in our previous Open Chat, they've got the city cats. And because of Bluey World, Bluey was created, devised, it's all based on the person who lived in Brisbane. So 2 of the city cats, they've actually repainted and they've made them the city dogs. So you can get the Bluey cat and you can get the Bingo cat. They do not have them on the schedule because they know that things can change depending on, if there's maintenance and stuff that happens. So they do not have a schedule for them. I asked specifically. But we caught the ferry, and Queensland, what are they called? Queensland Transport have done a really good deal at the moment. So everything is sort of subsidised to try and get people back on public transport. So the City Cat cost me 50 cents per ride. My son was free because he's under 5.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, like we just walked down to the City Cats and just caught the cats everywhere. We didn't even bother trying to do buses and trains and things like that. We just went City Cat.
Yeah.
So we went down to South Bank a couple of times, and he did the Science Museum and had an absolute blast. And that was really good. And then, we went up to Bluey World. So we actually had an appointment time because, they had specialized timings for it. It was in the afternoon. So we actually went down to South Bank, did the museum again, and then had lunch, and then caught the City Cat up to Bluey World. And it was really good. Like, you walk up to it and it's like really well advertised outside. And I was so glad the only time on the City Cats that we actually had a city dog was on the day we went to Bluey World. It was when we were going down to South Bank, not when we were going up to Bluey World, but we did actually get on one of the city dogs.
Yeah.
So I was really happy about that. And especially because it was the day we were going, that was where all that excitement was.
Yeah.
yeah, so it was really good. We got that. We went in and they like it's just a really big warehouse shed. That's all that it is.
Oh, okay.
And it was, I felt very mixed about it. Like they had a lot of the characters. So you go in and then like all those places, you know, you can get the family photo at the front door of Bluey World. And it looks like the Bluey house and all that sort of stuff, which I think is cool. And the way they do it is they were doing like 2 different groups of kids. So you'd have one group would be, yeah, so there's 2 groups of kids and they had it as like group A and group B and they were separated by like 5 minutes. So that's how many people were going through this place. And
Wow.
they would have 2 fairies. So, the fairies would come out and there would be one fairy for one side, one fairy for the other. And they were part of the story. They were, you know, the garden fairies, and they would take you saying, oh, we've got to try and find Bingo and Bluey. We've lost them, blah, blah, blah. Let's go in and see if we can find it. So they take you in 2 separate groups. So you've got an A side and a B side, and you go into 2 separate living rooms. And there, the fairy starts to look around for things and is trying to find clues about where Bingo and Bluey might be. And one of the garden gnomes comes to life. So the garden gnome then becomes our guide so that the fairy can go back and greet the next lot of people. So, you know, there was that smooth transition that you had someone leading you around. And it was really good that, you know, there was a little bit of music. There was some effects and things that were really good fun for the kids, you know, timing things and all that sort of stuff. The downside was it was in a warehouse. So it was quite loud, you know, everything echoed, there was reverberation. I couldn't hear half the things that the person was saying. And I'm thinking like the kids were just excited and overwhelmed. They had no idea. So like the way that they were trying to get the kids to move through the rooms didn't work. But the kids were so busy exploring, they were having a blast. So it didn't really matter, you know, if you know what I mean. So I will say that was $50 for me, $50 for my kid. We were in there, like, because it was a guided tour, you were in and out and done. It was around about 45 minutes.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like that idea.
Yeah. So like I said, very expensive. It was a really good experience and, you know, he had a lot of fun. Because it was quite loud, he sort of struggled a bit with the noise level, but that's okay. And one of his little kindy mates, he and his sister were actually in Brisbane at the same time, and so we'd coordinated. We went to Bluey World together. So at least he had a friend to sort of try and keep him calm and keep him okay. And when we left the walk around area, of course, they had their obligatory gift shop and they had the obligatory food area and where you can buy your photos. But they actually had quite a good little play equipment there. So we actually let the kids play and they were playing for about 2 hours. And I was like, well, I got my money's worth out of that part then, didn't I?
Yeah. So the photo wasn't free?
Nope.
Gosh, you'd think that they'd include the photo purely because of the price of getting in. They would be making a fortune on that place.
Yep. Absolutely insane. So, yes, but we did it and we had fun and it was a good experience. So that's okay by me.
Yeah. And it's a memory, isn't it? And it's an experience. And that's what I kind of like to do with my kids too.
Yep.
Do something they'll remember.
Yeah, and I spent the fortune on the photos. So I definitely have the memories and the experience.
Oh, it's going to happen to me when we go on our cruise this year. So
yes,
I know the photos on them are absolutely ridiculous too. So
yes, they are. But at least you can usually take a lot of your own photos anyway, so it's not so bad.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up.
I think we should wrap it up.
We've been chatting a lot today, haven't we?
It's nice to be
back.
A while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But I'm glad everything
too long between.
No, and I do want to say that I'm very glad that your recovery, for the most part, went very well. Even if you did have a hiccup there at the end.
I wish I was doing something a bit more exotic when I did that. I slipped on a folder.
Yeah, you should have
running with the
blamed the
running
alcohol.
with the bulls. I don't even drink alcohol. That's the problem.
Don't tell people that. That's your excuse.
Yeah. It was funny. They even asked me if I was drinking or any illegal drugs. I'm like, unfortunately, no.
No.
In my
I
pajamas
wish.
with no bra on? No.
Hey, that could have been from some drugs. Let's just say that.
Especially at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah. It is Australia Day. You never know.
That's right. I was being very Australian.
Alrighty,
Oh,
guys. On that happy note of imagining Loz high on drugs, we're going to say goodbye.
Legal drugs.
Legal drugs, yes, very much legal drugs. So thank you everybody for watching. Hope you've had a bit of a laugh and a giggle at our expense. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you do like our video, and if you do want to see more of our crazy, please subscribe and follow along. But tell us in the comments below, what were you working on? Hopefully you've been having a bit of fun with some of the kits as well. So tell us what you've been doing in the last 2 months since we've done a WIP and chat. Oh, that's so bad.
I know.
That's so bad. So yeah, tell us down below what you've been doing. Otherwise, have a good day, have a good week, and we'll see you in a video that we're going to be recording very soon. We'll see you in a video soon. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.